Welcome, family. Your Voice of Africa is here with electrifying news that's set to redefine the future of our beloved continent. Today, we're bursting with pride as we bring you a story of audacity, vision, and unshakable Pan-African spirit. Picture this: a nation once shackled by drought and dependency, now rising like a phoenix, armed with bulldozers, dams, and an unyielding resolve to feed its people. This is Burkina Faso under President Captain Ibrahim Traoré, a leader who's not just dreaming of change but digging it into reality, literally. Sit back, grab a cup of shea butter tea, and let's dive into a groundbreaking chapter of African excellence. And to our incredible subscribers and members, this one's for you. Your support fuels our mission to amplify these stories. Let's get into it. Imagine a land where golden fields of millet and sorghum stretch endlessly under the sun, where rivers once swallowed by dust now sparkle through meticulously carved canals, and where farmers no longer pray for rain, but command it through innovation. This is the future Burkina Faso is building, and it's happening right now. Brothers and sisters, if you've ever doubted Africa's capacity to lead, to innovate, to defy the odds, let this story silence those doubts forever. On March 11, 2025, President Ibrahim Traoré stood before a crowd of farmers, engineers, and patriots in Ouagadougou, not with empty promises, but with a fleet of earth-shaking machinery. Bulldozers, excavators, dump trucks, and water tankers, all part of a historic 13 billion CFA francs investment, roughly 21 million, in hydro-agricultural infrastructure. This isn't just about digging canals, it's about digging Burkina Faso, and by extension, Africa, out of the grave of food insecurity and into the light of sovereignty. Water is life, Traoré declared, his voice echoing with the weight of centuries of struggle. Without it, no seed can sprout, no farm can flourish, and no nation can truly be sovereign. We will no longer kneel before foreign powers for food aid. Burkina Faso will feed itself. Let's break this down. For decades, Burkina Faso, like many Sahel nations, has been trapped in a cruel cycle. Over 80% of its people rely on farming, yet climate change has turned rains erratic, soils barren, and harvests hopeless. Families watched crops wither under relentless sun, while children went hungry in a land that should have been abundant. But Traoré, a leader cut from the cloth of Thomas Sankara's revolutionary legacy, is rewriting this narrative. His strategy: master the water, master the future. The numbers speak loudly. 10 loader shovels, 25 bulldozers, 33 compactors, 6 water tankers, and 18 dump trucks, all deployed under the Presidential Initiative for Agricultural Production and Agro-Pastoral Offensive, 2023-2025. These machines are more than steel and diesel, they're the heartbeat of a national awakening. They'll carve out 200 kilometers of irrigation canals, construct 15 new dams, and transform 500,000 hectares of arid land into year-round green belts. Imagine the impact: farmers planting 3 harvests a year instead of 1, villages buzzing with agribusiness, and a nation no longer begging for rice imports but exporting surplus grains to neighbors. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Why irrigation? Well, let's take a lesson from Israel, a nation that turned the Negev desert into an agricultural powerhouse through drip irrigation and sheer grit. Despite minimal rainfall, Israel now feeds its people and exports $1.5 billion in produce annually. Burkina Faso, with far more arable land and water resources, is poised to replicate and surpass this success. Traoré's engineers are already mapping aquifers, redirecting seasonal floods, and installing solar-powered pumps to tap groundwater. The message is clear: if the rains won't come, we'll bring the rivers to us. But this isn't just about food. It's about dignity. It's about a generation of Burkinabè youth who'll no longer flee to Europe in search of opportunity, but will instead thrive on their ancestral soil. It's about mothers who'll no longer ration meals during lean seasons. It's about a nation staring down terrorism, sanctions, and skepticism and saying, "Watch us rise." As Traoré roared in his speech, "Our enemies want us weak, dependent, and hungry, but we'll show them Burkina Faso stands tall, strong, sovereign, and self-reliant." Now, family, let's pause here. Not just to catch our breath, but to pour out gratitude to you, our phenomenal Voice of Africa community. Every time you hit subscribe, drop a comment, or share our videos, you're stitching together a tapestry of African pride. You're the reason stories like Traoré's revolution reach millions. Think about it. When you hit like, a farmer in Kenya learns about Burkina Faso's canals. When you share, a student in Nigeria feels hope. When you become a member, you fund the microphones that amplify Africa's truth. You are the movement. From Lagos to Johannesburg, Cairo to Dakar. Thank you. Now, let's keep marching. What makes Traoré's plan revolutionary isn't just the scale, it's the speed. While other leaders debate policies, he's already deployed Sonator engineers to break ground in Burkina Faso's northern Sahel region, where the desert's advance has been ruthless. I spoke with Fatoumata Sawadogo, a 58-year-old millet farmer in Dori, who wept as she described watching her fields die for decades. "Last year, my harvest fed my family for 2 months. With these canals, my grandchildren will eat for a lifetime," she said. "This is the human face of progress. Dusty hands gripping new tools, children chasing tractors like they're spaceships, and elders singing old prayers of gratitude." But let's get technical for a moment. Professional irrigation isn't just about flooding fields. It's a science. Traoré's team is blending Burkinabè ancestral knowledge, like the Zai pits used to trap rainwater for centuries, with cutting-edge tech. Soil moisture sensors, satellite mapping, and AI-driven drip systems will ensure every drop of water is optimized. Think of it as smart farming meets African ingenuity. And here's the kicker. Burkina Faso's rivers and aquifers hold enough water to irrigate millions of hectares. They just lack the tools to harness it. Until now. Yet, challenges loom. Security threats from insurgent groups could disrupt construction. Maintenance of complex machinery requires skilled technicians, and over-reliance on groundwater risks depletion if not managed sustainably. But Traoré's government isn't blinking. Partnerships with Morocco's irrigation experts and China's infrastructure giants are already in motion. Youth training programs are turning mechanics into irrigation specialists, and solar-powered pumps will ease pressure on non-renewable aquifers. This isn't a quick fix, it's a multi-generational blueprint. Let's zoom out. Why should all Africans care about Burkina Faso's canals? Because this is a test case for the continent. If a landlocked, resource-strapped nation like Burkina Faso can defy the desert, then Ghana can revolutionize cocoa, Kenya can re-engineer tea, and Sudan can green the Sahara. Traoré's bet is simple. Food sovereignty is the foundation of all sovereignty. A nation that can't feed itself will always dance to another's tune. But when you control your breadbasket, you control your destiny. This isn't theory, it's history. Ancient Egypt thrived by mastering the Nile. The Mali Empire built wealth on fertile riverbanks. Now, Burkina Faso is reigniting that legacy. And the timing couldn't be more urgent. Climate change, global inflation, and geopolitical tensions have exposed the fragility of Africa's food imports. The Ukraine war alone sent wheat prices soaring, leaving millions at risk. Traoré's answer? Grow our own, eat our own, be our own. To our phenomenal subscribers and members, yes, you're getting another shout-out because this is where you come in. Stories like these aren't just feel-good news, they're blueprints. When you share this video, you're not just boosting a YouTube algorithm, you're sparking conversations in classrooms, boardrooms, and village squares. You're telling the world Africa's solutions are here. So, keep commenting, keep debating, Keep demanding more coverage of leaders who do instead of just talk. Together, we're building a digital agora where Africa's voice isn't just heard, it's revered. Now, let's get personal. Imagine you're a young farmer in Burkina Faso. For years, you've watched your parents struggle, their backs bent under unforgiving skies. Then, one morning, trucks rumble into your village carrying excavators and engineers. They map the land, consult elders, and within weeks, trenches snake across the fields, guiding water to parched soil. You're handed seeds, trained in drip irrigation, and told, "This land is yours. Make it bloom." That's the power of Traoré's vision. It's not top-down aid. It's grassroots empowerment. And the numbers back it up. The World Bank estimates that efficient irrigation could boost Burkina Faso's agricultural GDP by 40% within a decade. That's millions lifted from poverty. That's clinics built, schools funded, and roads paved, all from the sweat of farming. But Traoré isn't waiting for outsiders. He's rallying Burkinabè to fund this revolution through taxes on mining revenues. Gold is a major export, and redirecting funds from bloated bureaucracies. Our resources will serve our people first, he insists. Critics, of course, mutter. Too ambitious, they say. Too expensive. But since when did Africa's progress bow to naysayers? When Rwanda launched its tech hubs, skeptics scoffed. Now Kigali is a Silicon Valley of the savannah. When Ethiopia built the Grand Renaissance Dam, doomsayers warned of disaster. Now it's powering East Africa. Burkina Faso's canals are next in this lineage of audacity. So what's next? The machinery is rolling, the engineers are training, and the farmers are ready. Over the next 2 years, Burkina Faso aims to irrigate 30% of its arable land, a leap from the current 2%. Solar-powered pumps will draw from the Volta River basin, while dams in the Compiègne region will store rainy season deluges. The goal? Total food self-sufficiency by 2030. But let's not romanticize the grind. Building canals in 45 degrees heat is brutal. Insurgent attacks in the east have forced crews to work under military guard. Corruption, Africa's ancient foe, lurks in the shadows. Yet, Traoré's government is countering with transparency apps that track every franc spent and community watchdogs who monitor projects. This isn't just infrastructure, it's a cultural overhaul. In closing, family, let's return to why this matters. Burkina Faso's irrigation revolution isn't just about crops. It's about confidence. It's proof that African problems demand African solutions, delivered with African hands. As Traoré told me in an exclusive interview, "We're done with conferences and begging bowls. We have the land, the water, and the will. The rest is just digging." So, let's spread this story like wildfire. Share it with your uncles who say, "Africa can't," your classmates who dream of agribusiness, your politicians who've forgotten the soil. Let's make Voice of Africa trend from Algiers to Zanzibar, and to Captain Traoré and the Burkinabè people. We see you, we salute you, and we're documenting every step of your journey.